Hi friends, this is Dr. Manan from Globalized HR and welcome to Chat with the Leaders. Today we are going to discuss about a very important topic, and that is the building of DNA of an organization. And how do we build that? It is by recruitment. So let's discuss about the changing landscapes of recruitment in the organization. And to discuss on that, today we have Mr. Manmohan Bhutani with us, who is the Vice President of HR and Business Operations of ACS Group, India region. Welcome, Manmohan. Thank you so much for your time today. Yeah. So, Manmohan, before we actually go ahead and discuss about the recruitment and the changing landscape of recruitment, could you please just give our viewers a little brief, like what exactly ACS does?
ACS is into three businesses in India. One of the businesses in the staffing area, where we do US staffing, and we also do staffing for our Indian client. Most of them are multinationals and in the IT and non-IT area.
Right.
Second business we are doing is the IT business. So we have another division which does IT business, and the third division is the medical coding business. So these are the three major lines of business, with staffing being the core for ACS.
Great. So since today we are discussing about recruitment, I just would like to understand, like, what are the biggest challenges that you are facing today in the Indian market, which is emerging and it is not still that matured enough to accept RPO as a model? So what are the challenges that you face?
Okay, as far as the changing landscape in the Indian staffing industry, there are a couple of them. One is we are seeing the emergence of social recruiting. Social recruiting is catching in a big way, and so it takes time. That is a challenge. If you are going social and if you are trying to implement it, it takes time compared to your standard portal. So you should be prepared that normally if recruiting happens and you're expecting the recruiter to give you the CVs in 24 to 48 hours. With social recruiting, it takes anywhere between 48 to 96 hours or even a week before I get you the right CVs. Second is we are also seeing people are shifting from permanent jobs to contractual jobs. Even though the market in India is not yet fully matured, but at certain levels it is picking up.
Right.
And even at certain specialized positions, we are seeing a shift from permanent jobs to contractual jobs. So we particularly the MNCs, they are more comfortable with a combination of permanent staffing and contractual staffing. That ratio might vary, right? So slowly we are seeing the percentage on the contractual side is increasing, even though some of the people particularly are not ready to accept contractual jobs. In case they are having an option of a permanent job, it takes us quite some time to convince them to take a contractual job.
So from the business perspective, like I understand that, like as you have mentioned, that people are still very apprehensive in accepting a contractual job offer. From the organizational side, from the client side, what do you think? Like, why should they actually adopt the RPOs as the recruitment process in their organizations?
See, the world is changing. It's moving from a generalist world to a very specialized world. So companies which are coming to India, they are not very familiar with the talent landscape here. So they have no other option but to go in for a RPO sort of a model, where they can get the expertise of the people who know this market well.
Right.
So they are the one we are seeing who are adopting the RPO model with open hands. While some of the older companies and which have been there into India market for quite some time, they already know the talent landscape here, so they are more comfortable doing it themselves. They think that they are able to save cost, but what we have seen is over the long run, because their recruitment cost is going up every year, because you have to increase salaries as per the market, and recruiters are not easy to get the type of the specialist recruiters which we are talking of.
Right.
You can get generic recruiters whose productivity will be very low. So general thinking is that the RPO is more expensive, but in long run we have seen that you are bringing in expertise. They add a lot of value to the whole process. They're able to get the right people very fast on some of those positions, and give you that advantage in the marketplace by reducing the overall time to hire and
Right.
also the cost of hire. So that's
So
where
the
you have to see
ROI. Right.
over a long run. But
Right.
it's the newer companies, the startups and the MNCs which are coming from outside who are setting up shops here, R&D center, etc. They are more open for RPO.
So overall, I understand that okay, there might be like reasons that companies are not adopting RPO till now, but once they understand that the ROI of adopting RPO is much higher, then they will also come and
I
adopt.
Yeah. So
Great.
it's up to us how we are able to give them a very articulate, clear ROI in such cases. So
Absolutely.
it takes time. Even we are not sometimes ready, not able to convince.
Right.
So it works both ways.
Right, that's great. So, what will be your advice to the aspirants who are now pursuing their career, or maybe those who are already having some jobs in their hand, but now moving to looking forward to a newer opportunity? So, what will be your advice to them?
My experience there has been the world is changing very, very fast in the last 10 to 12 years. The changes or the pace of change has drastically increased. And if you see, the world is moving from to a specialization.
Mm-hmm.
So if the world is changing, you also need to change.
Right.
So earlier it used to be a generalist world. That's what people expected about 20, 25 years back.
Mm-hmm.
But today, I think one has to be a specialist or a super specialist. So if you want to prolong your career, you need to choose not only a specialization, but a super specialization within that.
Right.
To give you an example, in HR, generalist HR are not specialist that way. But a specialization in compensation or rewards management, that is the
Right.
specialization.
Right.
In marketing, the specialization is if you are an expert in digital marketing today. So you have to see what are the latest trend. So overall marketing is very, very generic.
Right.
So in each of these areas you need to see what are the emerging trends and then take up a specialization, and if you start your career from that, you'll always be in demand. You can prolong your career on the basis of specialization.
Right.
I'm not saying the generalist will not be in demand, but yes, the percentage is coming down drastically. So if you want to have a very safe career, be a specialist. From there you will be able to take up a generalist role, because one of the reasons is that the the roles are becoming highly global. So earlier, suppose I had chosen only compensation or benefit as a specialization for me. After a point, I was stuck because there were no more roles available to me. I am the head for India for compensation and benefit. But I have seen today, now you'll get opportunities at a global level.
Right.
So instead of India, you take up Asia Pacific role. From Asia Pacific role, you take a global role. And the money is much more in a specialist role. That's what we are seeing. So it's going forward strategy which can work for most of the people is the specialization. That's what I've been advising.
The key is not being in jack for all, it is master of one. So be the master of one, be specialist in one, and that's the advice from Manmohan to all, that this is the world which is changing and one should move towards being a specialist. Thank you so much, Manmohan, for your time and your valuable advice, and I'm sure our viewers must have got a lot of valuable inputs from this session.
Sure.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah.